my friends. Pamela here. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to bust another myth, and that is PTSD has no cure. I'm here to tell you that there are many ways that you can recover from PTSD. It has been shown that EFT tapping, which we've done some of in this show, can be very effective and in fact has been supported by the Veterans Administration to be useful as a therapy to reduce the symptoms and to basically cure PTSD. So that's a good thing. PTSD has a lot of symptoms that are difficult to diagnose as far as a medical practitioner might be able to recognize. And a psychotherapist might come up with another list of symptoms that are related to this. But it is in the body, and we can get it out of the body by using techniques like the ones that you learn here in Move Into Resilience. PTSD isn't something that has to be gotten from a particular episode. I want to make that very clear. We can have PTSD simply by being associated in the same household as someone who has gone through a trauma themselves and who has these symptoms. The other way that we can also have the symptoms of trauma can be through epigenetics. And we've talked about epigenetics before. What that means is basically it's above the genes. That's what the word means, epigenetics. And it's a way that our genes, our DNA, is changed a little bit when we've had an experience. But what's interesting about this is that it can last for many generations. So the trauma could have been experienced by someone several generations ago in your family, and then here you are with these symptoms without having experienced a trauma. So in curing these symptoms and getting that out of your body, there are many different ways to do that. But basically what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish is to get to a place where we are calm and at the same time alert. Calm is an ease in the body. There's less tension. It's comfortable. And that's really important because when we're coming from this calm place, we can now move in whatever direction and at whatever speed we need to. So that calmness is important. The other aspect of this, of being cured of PTSD, is to end up in an alert state. Alert doesn't mean that every little sound scares us. That's hypervigilance, which is one of the symptoms of PTSD. What alert means is that there is an awareness of your environment and you are able to discern what is something that you need to be running away from or fighting. And by having this alert state and the calmness at the same time, we can navigate life very easily. When we're stuck in the trauma response and we have the symptoms of PTSD, a lot of the things that may bother you may not bother another person because the alert state has become hyper alert or hyper vigilant, hyper aroused. This leads to overreaction to whatever the situation might be, a loud noise, for example. And we might get really startled by a loud noise, something simple like that. So in this episode, what I wanted to do was to let you know that this is not something that you have to just live with and put up with and go from doctor to doctor and get misdiagnosed and handed pills and all of these other things. It can be cured. And there are therapists out there who know this. Typically, they are somatic therapists, and somatic means of the body. So we're paying attention to the indicators that our body is sending us, these messages. But oftentimes when we've had PTSD or it's in our epigenetics, we don't necessarily have access to the information that's coming from the body because it's either painful or it's frightening, or we've just become numb to it because that was our best defense. These are not choices that we made. These are reflexes that happened. And especially if it's coming through our transgenerational line, this isn't something that was even experienced. So don't beat yourself up. Be kind, be gentle, and give it some time and attention, and really show your body some care and kindness, and then the messages will be easier to listen to. The activity that we're going to do today is coming from Hannah Somatics, which is an offshoot of Feldenkrais. And in both of these movement practices, they talk about the trauma reflex. What they're talking about is the side of the body. So this would include the ribs and the diaphragm muscle, which is underneath the lungs, and also the hips. And so this side part of our body gets tense and gets pulled in different directions, in diagonal directions. So when we do this activity, it's called the side bend. You're going to be standing when you do it, and you're going to be using these side muscles of your body and allowing them to soften and relax, and the tension will be reduced. This will address those parts of the body that basically get tense in order to fight or flee or run away or shut down. And so by doing this activity, we can release the tension in those muscles, and it's a good start to getting more in your body and feeling those sensations, and then also reducing this reflex so that we are now in a state of calm and alert. So please join in. This is side bend. Side bend. Lift your heel and your hip on the same side and bring your elbow of that same side down toward that lifted hip. Gently reach the other arm up and release that side of your body. And then slowly switch to the other side. And we'll do each side 3 times. Slowly alternating from one side to the other side. Gently reaching with your upper arm. It'll sort of look like you're climbing a wall. Enjoy the release. After you've completed 3 times on each side, let your arms come down by your sides and notice how you feel. So that was the side bend. Thanks for joining in, and I hope that that was helpful for you to release some of the tension that may have been in the sides of your body. That's what I have for you today, is to say to you, PTSD can be cured. There are many different ways to go about that. I will have some links for you so that you can find some resources for yourself. And another thing, after it is cured, oftentimes and most times people will experience a growth process which allows them to be even more capable and more calm and alert than they were even before they realized that this was something that they could get rid of. So I invite you to explore and to be kind and gentle with yourself, and to know that there is a possibility for growth after these experiences. Thanks for joining in today, and send yourself some appreciation for joining in. This has been Move Into Resilience, and you can find out more at moveintoresilience.com. I'm Pamela Stokes. Take it easy.